We got down, I think, to the Mishnah on 122, right?
I think so, yep.
Yeah. All right, so we'll wait another moment or two, and then we'll get underway.
Fair enough.
I was telling Harvey that the 7:15 Minyan ran a little late this morning, so.
Yep.
That's, so Erwin and Bob are both there. Give them a chance.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Robert.
Yasher Koach on the davening, by the way.
You're welcome. Baruchim Tiyah.
Okay, I'm going to just do a quick, I'm waiting, Erwin I'm sure will be jumping on board momentarily. So we've been dealing with the issue of the fire, okay? And coming up on Shabbat. And then our Mishnah went into the topic of what if the Gentile is one that goes ahead and comes and puts out the fire, okay? And what's the situation there? Okay, we saw that was a part of the discussion, okay? And now, okay, we really continue with this motif, okay? And that's where we are going to be now on Kaf Kuf Bet 122a, okay? So our Mishnah starts off with the following. Okay, Nachri Shehidlik et Haner. Okay, the question is going to be for whose purpose is the Gentile lighting this lamp? Is he lighting it for his own purpose, or is he going to be lighting it for the purpose of the Jew that is there? Okay, our Mishnah is going to need to spell this out. Nachri Shehidlik et Haner. Okay, and assuming that it for the moment is for his own purpose, Mishtamesh la'oro Yisrael, that a Jew may then benefit and utilize that light. Ve'im b'shvil Yisrael, I'm going to say, however, if he lit it for a Jew, asur, that Jew is not permitted to use it. Okay, going on, another example in our Mishnah. Milei Mayim. Again, let's assume that he took water from a well, the Gentile, and he uses it, lahashkot behemto, to water his own animal, right? Mashke acharav Yisrael. A Jew may then use the water, let's say he took the water from the well and put it into a trough. Good morning. Okay, we just started the Mishnah on 122a. Okay, Erwin? Right?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. So what happens then if he put the water in the trough, okay, for his own animal, and the Jew then brings his animal up to drink from the trough? It's acceptable. Mashke acharav Yisrael. Ve'im b'shvil Yisrael. But if he went and took the water from the well and put it into the trough for the Jew, okay, asur, it is forbidden. Okay? Third example, right? And there's a reason why I'm pointing out three different scenarios, if you will. Okay? Third case, asa nachri keves li'ureidbo. In this case, they're on a ship, and they are, the Gentile has set up a ramp, what we would call a gangplank, right? In order to exit the ship. Yored acharav Yisrael. He goes down. Jews may then use that gangplank, okay, to exit. This would imply on Shabbat. Ve'im b'shvil Yisrael asur. But if it was done for a Jew, it is forbidden. Now a story in the Mishnah. Ma'aseh b'Rabban Gamliel's kingdom. An incident occurred with Rabban Gamliel and sages. Shahayu ba'in b'sfina, that were traveling on a ship. Va'asa nachri keves li'oreidbo, and a Gentile made a ramp, a gangplank for them to exit. V'yordu bo Rabban Gamliel uzkenim. And the rabbi, Rabban Gamliel, and the elders, the sages, exited the ship on that gangplank. They descended. So Gemara's first question is, why do we need three different scenarios? In this case, three different examples. Utsricha, says the Gemara. We need it. The Iyashmeina Ner, because if we had only been taught the first of the Resha of our Mishnah that dealt with the lamp, Mishum de Ner la'achar Ner lamea. Why? Because we have a principle that basically says, okay, that a lamp for one is like a lamp for 100. Okay? In other words, multiple people can benefit from that light. Okay? Aval mayim, but in regards to the situation of the water, ligzor dilma ate la'afushe bishvil Yisrael. But in regards to the situation of the water, we might say that there they have to increase, okay, the amount of water. In other words, to be able, in other words, the second situation of pouring the water from the well into the trough, maybe they would have to increase the amount of water for the Jew, and that would not be appropriate. So the Gemara continues with its challenge of why all three. V'keves lamali. So why do we need the third example of the ramp, of the gangplank? Okay, so the Gemara answers, Ma'aseh de Rabban Gamliel's kenim kamash malan. It came to be able to teach us the example of the incident, which is going to therefore tell us when we have a clear halachic maseh, that gives more strength to the halacha. Okay? Tanu Rabbanan says a new Braita. Nachri shaliket asavim. Let's assume now that we've got a situation where a Gentile gathers up animal feed, grasses, straw, whatever, to feed an animal. Okay, ma'achil acharav Yisrael. A Jew then may lead his animal over to that pile, let's say, of grass or animal feed, to let his animal eat on Shabbat. Ve'im b'shvil Yisrael. And if it was done for the Jew specifically, asur, it's forbidden. Now the Gemara picks up, milei mayim lahashkot behemto, the Braita. Okay, if he filled his, again, drew water from the well in order to give his animal to drink, mashke acharav Yisrael. The Braita says the same thing, okay, as our Mishnah, okay, that the Jew then can have his animal drink from that water in the trough. Ve'im b'shvil Yisrael, but if it was done for a Jew, asur, it is forbidden. But medvarim amorim, what are we talking about? She'ein makiro. The implication is that he does not know, he's not familiar with the Jew, okay? Aval makiro, asur. But if he is familiar with this particular Jew, it's his neighbor from next door, for example. Okay? Right? And therefore he's gonna, be a nice guy and whatever, asur. Then it's forbidden. Okay? Eini, is that really the case? Asks the Gemara. Va'amar Rav Huna amar Rabbi Chanina. Okay? Don't we have a situation where Rav Huna says in the name of Rabbi Chanina, Ma'amid Adam behemto al gabe asavim b'Shabbat, that a person may, so to speak, stand his animal. In other words, lead the animal over to where there's a pile of animal feed, right, on Shabbat, right? Avalo al gabe muktzah b'Shabbat, but not on something that has been set aside on Shabbat. Okay? Deka'im la ba'apa, right? In other words, he can bring the animal over, okay? In other words, he can have the animal stand in front of the pile of animal food, va'azla hu va'achla, okay? And then let the animal sort of eat it on its own, okay? And in that case, that would be permitted. Amama, says the master, B'met dvarim amurim. What are we talking about? Again, she'ein makiro, only in a situation that the Gentile does not know the Jew. Aval makiro, but if he knows him, asur, it's forbidden. Okay, so we come now to another piece in our text. Okay, the following. Ha Rabban Gamliel, makiro hava. So we have a question now asked about the third example in our Mishnah, as if to say, how is it possible that the Gentile who lowered the gangplank, okay, would not know who Rabban Gamliel is? Okay. Amar Abai, Shalo b'fanav hava. Okay, it was not, even if he knew him, okay, in other words, he knew he had this important Jewish leader on board the ship, okay, but it wasn't done in front of him. In other words, implying that when it was done, okay, it wasn't done in the presence, okay, and what is it implying? It wasn't done for his benefit, okay. So Gemara continues. Rabba Lamar, says Rabba, afilu tema b'fanav. Even if you want to say that it was done with Rabban Gamliel there present, okay, ner le'echad, ner le'me'ah. Isn't this similar to the fact that you have a candle lit or a lamp lit for one? It's lit for many, for hundreds. In other words, regardless of whom the Gentile put the gangplank down, that's the only way all the people are going to get off the ship. Okay? Meitive. But we'll challenge this, says the Gemara, with the following Braita. Amar lehen Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Gamliel says to them, O'il v'shalo b'fanenu asahu nered bo. Okay? Maybe we're saying the Braita tells us that in this incident, Rabban Gamliel said to his colleagues, since it wasn't done in our presence, let's go and depart on it. Ema ho'il va'asau. Okay, perhaps I would say that maybe it's a situation of then that they did, since he took it, lowered the gangplank, they were able to do so. Nered bo. Okay. And therefore say it that way. Since he was able, he did it, therefore they could go down. He could say, let's go down. Okay, again, from our new Braita. Tashma, listen to the following situation. Ir sheYisrael v'nachrim darim b'tocha. City in which both Jews and Gentiles inhabited in the city. And remember, there were quite a few such cities, especially the big cities like Sepphoris and things like that. Okay. Bahitaba merchatz, and in this city there was a public bathhouse. Right. Hamirachetzet b'Shabbat. Okay, one of the Jews, sages, who bathe on Shabbat. Imrov nachrim. If the majority of the people in the town were Gentile, mutar lechotz b'miyad. Okay, then the situation is that water in the public bathhouse is heated for the majority of the people, the Gentiles, and so a Jew can immediately after Shabbat go and bathe in it on Saturday night. Imrov Yisrael. However, if the majority of the people in the town are Jewish, Yamtin b'chdei sheyichamu chami. He must wait enough time after Shabbat before bathing, for them to, so to speak, heat up the water. Okay? Hatam ki mechamame adata deruba mechamame. Why? Because we say that what do they normally do? And that is that they heat up the water for the benefit of the majority of the people. Right? Tashma, another brighter. Ner hadaluk b'mesibah. Let's say we have a lamp that's lit at a banquet. Right? Imrov nachrim. If the majority of the attendees at the banquet are Gentiles, mutar lehishtamesh la'orah. It is permitted for a Jew to also make use of the light. Okay? Imrov Yisrael. If the majority of the are Jewish, asur, it's forbidden. Mechza al mechza, if it's half and half, right? Asur, even then it's forbidden. So the Gemara wants to point out, Hatam nami ki midleke adata deruba midlkur. Don't we say there too that in that example of the banquet, putting on a lamp, lighting the lamp, that's usually done for the benefit of the majority, right? Isn't that usually the case? Okay? Isn't that usually right? That's the point. Now, to clarify, the Gemara is going to again give us an example. Ikla lebe avin, Shmuel, ikla lebe avin Turin. Shmuel happened to visit the home of Avin Turin, who was a prominent Persian Babylonian Gentile. And he would host Shmuel. Atahahu nachri adlik shraga. Okay, while he was visiting, along came a particular Gentile there, and he lit a lamp. Ahadrinhu Shmuel la'ape. And Shmuel turned his face away, so he wouldn't be benefiting from the light. Kevan dechaza, the aiteshta. Once he saw, however, that the Gentile brought a document, okay, the kakari, and he was reading the document. In other words, he was using the light for his own purposes. Amar ada'ata denafshehu da'adlik, okay, that he was doing it on his own, lighting it for himself, his own benefit, right? Aharinhu ihu la'ape gabe shraga. He returned and turned his face back to the lamp. Right? Hadrana lach kol kitve. Right? And we finish that parak. Let's go on. Okay? Says our Gemara now in a new Mishnah. Okay? What are we going to be dealing with? Remember, we spoke a little bit before about something being considered set aside, muktzah, on Shabbat, okay? Which implies, of course, that it can't be handled, right? Now, under what conditions, as we're going to get into this parak, might something be muktzah, right? I'm going to suggest, based on the introduction that Koren Steinsaltz had, there are three examples, okay? Number one could very well be that somebody has mentally set something aside not to use on Shabbat for whatever reason, okay? And therefore that item would be considered muktzah, set aside. Okay? A second example might be regarding the function of the item, okay? A third might be a concern about monetary loss. Okay? Now, in other words, it may be a particular kind of utensil that it has to be, that the owner has concerns about its being used for other purposes, and so therefore it's set aside, muktzah. Okay? So those are the items we're going to get into as we start this parak. Okay? Kol hakelim nitalim b'Shabbat. according to this new Mishnah, any utensils may be handled on Shabbat. Okay, Vidalto tehen imahem. Okay, one translates it, their doors, but I think Korenstein's house, I'm not sure what art school has, the lids. Okay? So think of pots made out of, let's say, earthenware or metal, and the lids of the pots, and their lids along with them. Afal pi shenit parku b'Shabbat. Okay, even though they may become detached on Shabbat. She'enan domin l'dlatot habayit. Why? Because they are not similar to doors of a house. In other words, doors of a house are on a hinge or on something, so they're considered part of that item. Right? Lafi she'enan min hamuchan. Why? Because they are not prepared. They're not readily designated for use on Shabbat. Second part of our Mishnah. Notel Adam Kurnis, a person takes a kind of mallet or hammer, liftsoa bo eta egozim, in order to crack, let's say, walnuts, right? Or other kinds of nuts. Kardum lachtoch bo eta dvela. Well, let's say he takes a kind of saw in order to slice off a piece of fig cake. Okay. Megira lagur ba et hagvina, or he takes a kind of, let's say, reed, right, in order to get himself a piece of cheese. Okay. Magrefa lagrof bo ba et grogeret. Or he takes, let's say, a small shovel, right, in order to get himself some dried figs. Et haretech, okay, ve'etamal gaz, latet alav lekatan. Or let's say now he may take a pitchfork, okay, or he may take a kind of special winnowing shovel. Okay, and use that to feed a child. Etakush, v'etakarkar. Okay, or let's say that he may take again some sort of a stick or some sort of a utensil that is from a what's called a shuttle. It's a piece of metal, wood, that's used on a loom. Okay, and use those, okay, litchovbo, in order to, or another kind of instrument, utensil, to stab something, to be able to eat with it. Machat shel yad, or he may take a hand needle for sewing. Litolbo eta coats, excuse me, to remove a thorn. Vishel sakeim, or a larger kind of needle that's used, let's say, to sew up bags, close up sacks, okay? Made frequently, they would sew up bags in olden days that were made from rough material there, okay? Liftoach bo et hadelet, okay? Or they could use a large needle, okay, almost like a key to open a door. So all of these things are examples of utensils, okay, that could be handled on Shabbat. Now, our Gemara picks up and it's going to question, as we continue, each of these various areas. Right? First case, Kol HaKelim Natalim, all said, our Mishnah, all of these utensils, implements, right? V'afal pi shenitparku b'Shabbat, even though the lids became separated from them on Shabbat. V'lo mebai b'chol, and certainly, okay, we don't have to raise the question if they became detached on a weekday. Adraba, says the Gemara. Wait a second, on the opposites. B'Shabbat, muchanin al gabe avihem. On Shabbat, we would normally consider them prepared. In other words, available, ready, okay, because of their attachment to the original vessels. Okay? That's the whole point. Okay? B'chol, on a weekday, however, ein muchanin al gabe avihem. During the weekday, they may not necessarily be prepared, available, okay, because of the original vessel. Amar Abaye. So Abaye says, Hachika Amar. This is what it means to say. Kol hakelim nitalim b'Shabbat. All of the utensils may be handled on Shabbat. V'daldo tehen imahem. And their lids, I'm going to say, along with them. Afal pi shenit parku b'chol. Even though they may have been separated, disattached from them during the week, nitalin b'Shabbat, they may still be handled on Shabbat. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan says a new Braita. Delet shel sheda v'shel teva v'shel migdal. Okay. Here they use the term delet. It's not so much a door, but it's really a cover. Okay. So think of a chest, okay, and that's what the first word is, sheda, okay, where it's not on a hinge per se, but you have to lift the cover off the chest to get at the items that are inside it. V'shel teva, or a box. V'shel migdal, or a closet. Notlin. Avolo machzirin. We may carry, we may handle and remove the top, the cover, okay, but we can't put it back. V'shalul shel tarnagoli, and also for a chicken coop, lo notlin v'lo machzirin. According to the Braita, we cannot take it off, nor can we put it back on. Gemara then proceeds to clarify the Braita. Bishlema shalul shel tarnagolin. That's acceptable or understandable when we're talking about the door, let's say, or a cover for a chicken coop. Kasavar kevan de mechabre ba'ara. Why? Because we say that since it's attached to the ground, yesh binyan b'karka, that this is part of the idea of building regarding the land. Yesh stira b'karka. Where there is building on the land, there's also detaching. Okay? Ela shel sheda. Okay? But regarding a chest, v'shel teva, or a box, v'shel migdal, or for that of a closet, my kasavar, what's his view then? I kasavar yesh binyan b'kelim yesh stira b'kelim. If he wants to take the view that there is the issue of building with regards to utensils, or the regards to detaching in regards to utensils. V'ein stira b'kelim, and if there is no detaching issue with regards to utensils, ein binyan b'kelim, then there should be no concern about binyan, about building in regards to a utensils. Amar Abaye, as Abaye clarifies, le'olam kasavar yesh binyan b'kelim v'yesh stira b'kelim. No, says Abaye. Ideally, right, we clearly see that the person of the Braita is of the view, of the perspective that there is a situation of building in a sense, with utensils, or detachment with utensils. V'shenitlu k'amar. But here, we're talking about carrying it, handling it. Amar le Rava. So Rava says to the following in response to Abaye's explanation. Shtei tshuvot b'davar. Okay? I really have two answers to reject your idea. Chada, one, denot lin katani, that the Braita wasn't dealing with, was simply handling it. Okay? Va'od, and furthermore, Mai, what does it mean when it says aval lo machzirin, when our Braita says that you can't attach it? Ela amar Rava. Rather, Rava says, kasavar ein binyan bekelim ve'ein stira bekelim. No, that he must hold that there is no issue of building in regards to utensils or detachment in regards to utensils. Gzera shema itaka. And the prohibition only comes as a gzera, lest one itaka, lest one firmly attach it. Okay. Let's go on now. Okay. Notel adam kornis v'chule. Okay. So we see now that the Gemara is going to take up the issue of taking a hammer and using it to crack nuts. Okay. Amar Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, kornis shel agozim leftzei bo et agozim. Okay. He says a nut hammer is used to split nuts. Right? Right. However, he goes on to say, aval shel nefachim, but a hammer that belongs, let's say, to blacksmiths, no, that's not the case. Kasavar, why? Because Rav Yehuda must be then of the opinion, davar shemalachto leisur, that an object whose general use is prohibited on Shabbat, afilu litzorach gufo asur, even for its, well, I'll call it general purpose, for the purpose of its own self, in other words, hammering, bounding, is forbidden. Amar le Rava, says Rava, ela me'ata, but here, he says, what do we learn? Sefer de Katani. Okay, the end of our Mishnah taught as follows: Ve'eta rachet, ve'eta malgaz. It talked about the winnowing shovel or the pitchfork. Lateta lav lekatan, in order to be able to give food to a minor. And he asks, Rechet umalgaz mi miachdele lekatan. Do we take it normally a winnowing shovel or normally a pitchfork? Okay, and do we normally set that aside and uniquely use it to feed a child? Perhaps at the very best, we could say that the winnowing shovel, a small shovel, was used to feed the child because the person was tamei and they did not want to make the food tamei to give the child. Ela amar Rava, says Rava, kornish shel nefachim leftzoa bo ha'egozim, to use a hammer of a blacksmith in order to crack nuts. Kasavar, he must be of the opinion, and let's roll over just a bit. Davar shemalachto leisur, okay, that's something, an object that its normal use was forbidden. Letzorech gufo, for its general purpose of smashing, hammering, mutar, would be permitted. Okay? Now, Abaye is not going to accept that, and he's going to challenge. Eitive Abaye the Rava. Okay, I'll challenge Abaye, challenge Rava with another Braita. Miducha, let's take the example, says Abai, of a mortar. Okay? You know, one of those, think of the old pharmacy where they would have to grind, right? A pestle and a mortar. Okay? Okay, so this mortar, okay, right? Im yesh bashum, if it has garlic in it, okay? In other words, they would, in order to get the garlic, have to pound it. Metaltalino ta, one is able to handle it, carry it. Ve'im lav, to move it. And if not, ein metaltalino ta, does that mean we can't move it? So Rabbi responds, Amale ha mani. According to whom is that? Rabbi Nechemia. That's the view of Rabbi Nechemia. The Amar who says, Ein kli natal ela letzorach tashmisho. Who holds, Rabbi Nechemia, that no utensil is to be handled unless it's for its normal purpose. Okay? And what happens? Eitive. Again, Abaye challenges Rabbi. Right? What about the following? It says in regards to Yom Tov, Beit Shammai Omrim Einot Lina Ta'ali L'Ktsav Alav Basar. Beit Shammai says one is not permitted to handle the pestle in order to beat or cut up the meat. Right? Beit Hillel Matarim. And Beit Hillel permits it on Yom Tov. Right? The Shavin, and they both agree, she'im katsav alav basar, that if they did already, b'di'evid, use this on meat, she'asur l'taltalo, that it's forbidden to handle it. Right? Why? Savar l'shenuye le karabi Nechemia. And Rava thought to respond to Abaye's example of the Beit Hillel, Beit Shammai, to give again the response, the stand of Rabbi Nechemia. Kevan de Sham'a laha, the Amar Rabbi Chanina, Bar Shalmia. But since he had learned and heard another example, another answer by Rabbi Chanina Bar Shalmia, Mishmei de Rav, in the name of Rav, Hakol Modim Besichi Zaire Umizore. Okay? That everybody is in agreement that with regards to spindles or regards to certain kinds of pins or kinds of mallets, right? The Chevan de Kapid Elayu, because the owners, those who use those items for their special professions, are strict about them, okay? Miached laho makom. They would put them aside in a special place. Hachanami, here too, miached laho makom. Here too, they would have put those items away in a special place for them not to be used. And once they're put away in a special place because of, let's say, financial concerns, they are considered muktzah and not usable for Shabbat. And we're going to stop right there today and pick up tomorrow with some more of this issues pertaining to muktzah, partly based on the question of potential destruction to a particular kind of instrument or implement. Okay?
Thank you, Rabbi.
All right, everybody.
Okay, Rabbi
Take
Green,
care.
thank you very much.
Stay well,
Have a
guys.
wonderful day, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you,
Well.
Rabbi. Thank you.